Okay, I can of course zoom in this window in all the same ways I can zoom in the edit window. I can use my zoomer. I can use the plus and minus keys. I can use the note grower to look at smaller number of notes, but they'll be larger, and so forth. So here's drums, purple is bass, yellow is clavinet. I have another way of looking at notes, and that's using this icon. This will display notes in different shades of red based on velocity. The darker the red, the higher the velocity. But of course, I could see velocity very easily by clicking my automation lane, and there is my velocity. Each note is colored based on the track color. If I only want to see my clavinet, I just unshow these or hide these, and there's my clavinet. Here's my bass. Now, as I said earlier, any track that has a pencil is selected for editing. Right now it's the bass, now it's a clavinet, now it's the drums. And I can also select the track for editing up here, as long as it's one of the ones that's showing. So if I show all my MIDI tracks and I want to edit the guitar, I just choose guitar from the drop-down menu, or I click over here. I have a solo and mute button, and here's how they work. When I press solo, any tracks that are shown in the bottom window are soloed. You can see up here, everything is soloed. If, on the other hand, I only have my bass and my clavinet showing, when I solo, only my bass and clavinet are soloed. If I do mute, only those two tracks are muted. Well, you're probably asking, what happens if I solo something up here and I solo something different down here? Well, all three get soloed. It does get a little complicated though, because if I turn off one of these manually, now I see an S in a boxed yellow, which means there's some discrepancy between these two tracks and what's soloed up here. It does get a little confusing, but it's nice when I'm working on a MIDI part to just be able to hit solo without going back to my track editor, and now I can hear just those parts. That's just my bass and my clavinet. And if I press solo here, you see my bass and clavinet stayed soloed. It's always a good idea to uncheck solo here, then change the tracks. So drum and bass, now press solo.